Got this boy on my mind that I can't live without. Oh, his eyes are killing me. And he keeps talking about everything that he likes, and I can't stop listening. I'm thinking about him all the time. I'm thinking about him all the time. I'm thinking about him all the time, all the time. And my heart's beating fast when he's looking like that. Oh, his smile is killing me. It's the way that he moves and the way that he laughs, so I can't get enough. Thinking about him all the time. I can't get him off my mind. Oh, I want him to be mine, to be mine. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. You know I want him now, 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 now. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it starts, when it starts.
Deep cleaning is my least favorite type of cleaning. I only do it when it's absolutely necessary or I'm forced. And in today's video, that's a combination of both. We're going to start off by cleaning underneath the bed. We are getting a new mattress, and then my washing machine broke, so we had to get a new washing machine as well. And then I'll move on to the living room, clean up our dirty living room, couch, floor, all the things. You can see in the intro of this video just how bad it got. Clearly, I don't do it often enough, but that's why we're here today. So let's just jump in today, starting in the bedroom. I'm going to take everything off the bed, get everything washed. And they say that you're supposed to replace your mattress every 7 years. And for us, it's been a little over 8 years. So I did want to thank Lowell for sponsoring today's video. And we absolutely love our new Lowell mattress. This is our first mattress from them, but ordering it online made it super easy. It came within just a couple of days, and it is a bit heavy only because it is made from quality material. The setup process was super simple. All we had to do was unroll it from the plastic, lay it on the bed frame, and let it expand. We went with the Luxe Hybrid mattress in the king size, which does have a balanced, medium firm construction that does adapt to the body shape and sleep style that fits just for you. So it does have that perfect fit of comfort and support. What I love about Lowell is that they also have a 365 night stress-free trial, free shipping, easy returns, and a lifetime warranty on the mattress. So I am a very light sleeper, and I do typically toss and turn all night long, switching from my side to my back to my stomach, or whatever feels the most comfortable at that time. Now, the first night that we slept on the Lowell mattress, I did not wake up a single time throughout the night. After a couple days, I've noticed that I've been able to get more consistent sleep throughout the night. So we are really glad that we chose Lowell. So after you set it up, it does take a couple of hours to fully expand. So we're just having a little bit of fun relaxing on the bed until it fully expands. For any of their premium memory foam mattresses, they are at a comfortable price, and you can get up to $700 off your Lowell mattress using the link in my description box below. After all, we do spend a third of our life sleeping on a mattress, unless you're a new mom, but be sure to take advantage of this offer. All right, so let's back everything up for just a minute and get to deep cleaning underneath our bed. So this is where we initially started. Before we got the new mattress, we're picking up the old mattress and the box springs, and we are cleaning underneath this bed. I'm always terrified that I'm going to pick up the mattress once in every 3 years that we actually do this, and there's going to be like dead bugs all under here. Luckily, there wasn't, thankfully, and there was just a lot of hair and dust. So the problem with this bed is that it is not easy to undo it all and actually get to it and clean it up. You have to unscrew every single one of those wooden pieces, roll up the whole thing, and then you can actually get to it and get it all vacuumed up. So I called Chris to come home during the day to unscrew everything, help me with the mattress, help me with under the bed so that we could get it cleaned up.
friends are in the club, we'll go all night. I see you in the back, the mood is right. If I just had your number, I would let you know how I feel. You walk up to me, start dancing to the music, energies like this was meant to be. Take my hand, I feel my heart beat, and I don't want this moment to stop. Time to go home, don't want this night to end. Yeah, about time we stop pretending. Come home with me, let's write a history. Tonight I'll make you see it's all about us. It's all about us. As we're dancing close together, making out. It's all about us. It's all about us. There's a magic in your eyes, can't get enough. Feel your hands, the way you're touching me around my neck. Got chills down my back, you do it right. The way you're holding me, no, I don't want this moment to stop. No need to fight it, I cannot hide it. We won't regret it, so come with me, maybe.
So I am vacuuming everything up. I'm using the Tenco cordless vacuum, and I don't know if you noticed, but I keep kind of checking it because I'm vacuuming it up and it's almost like it's not vacuuming, or the pieces are coming out of it. And I thought it was because like the end piece was clogged, but later on Chris is like, the whole thing is clogged up. So by vacuuming this with the cordless vacuum, I clogged up the whole vacuum, and it started like spitting out dust instead of sucking up the dust. So if that ever happens to any of your Tenco vacuums, just be sure to check not only the end part of it, but also the part like right there. So Chris pulled it out, and he found the issue is that that whole piece was clogged from just the amount of dust that was in our room. But once we got all of this cleaned up, then it vacuumed everything perfectly. I'm also kind of rushing this up a bit because I asked him to come home from work, and he's like, I can't be here all day helping you. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to hurry up, get this cleaned up, and then once we get the mattress and the bed back together, then you can go on your way. So that also being said, instead of pulling out my wet vac and everything, I just grabbed an e-cloth and got it wet, and then I'm just going to kind of clean up the wall right here and then wipe everything down with just this cloth.
Kinda simple, kinda wishful about things, and you're kinda simple, but like a pistol, you fire.
So once we have everything cleaned up, we will put the bed back together, and I'll fast forward putting the mattress on again.
Come back 'cause you'd rather stay out with another, talking to strangers and make out spontaneously. Now I'm so tired of hearing all your stories about the drunk nights, bragging in the glory. You're such a nice guy when you're not.
Next, I'm going to move on to the laundry room. And I had just got done doing like 5 loads of laundry, if you saw that video a couple of weeks ago. And then in the middle of drying, I started getting this error that said AE6. And I keep trying to restart it, unplug it, turn it off, turn it back on. I had Chris kind of come and look at it, and I Googled what does this error mean, and it just basically said like it's a communication error with the main board. So what I did was I called this repair guy to come out and take a look at the washing machine, which I have had him come out and fix our dryer twice before. And these washing machines are 8 years old. I think everything in our house is 8 years old because that's when we moved in. But they were manufactured in 2015. So he basically came out, looked at it, and said, you basically need a new washing machine. He said, I can repair it. I need to buy a new board. And that board is $750, but with labor and everything, it would come out to like $1,100. And I was like, nope, I can buy one for cheaper. So that's exactly what we did. If you do follow me on Instagram, a couple of weeks ago, I did ask what was your like most recommended washer and dryer, because we couldn't decide if we were going to buy the set, even though our dryer was still good, or just go ahead and buy the washing machine first. So the top 3 recommendations from all of you guys was LG, Whirlpool, or Speed Queen. The repair guy also told me to get an LG. He told me do not get another Samsung. He's surprised that my Samsung lasted this long. Although I've never had, besides just a couple of times, I've never had issues with Samsung until now, but it is like wear and tear. It is a pretty old washing machine. So I don't know. So leave me a comment down below. What do you guys use? What type of washing machine and dryer do you have? What brand do you have? And do you like it? But for now, we have the washing machine out, so I'm going to clean behind the washing machine and get all of the dirt and dust picked up before we order our new washer.
When you were leaving, I need you even more than I did before. You had the last word when you walked out the door. You drive me crazy, I want you to stay here. Now I'm here alone, I hate this party and I don't know anyone. We get drunk and we fight, but I forgive you, although you drive me crazy, I want you to stay here. You'll be the death of me still, you're my medicine. Yeah, I need you, I need you. You light my fire just to put me out again. Still I need you. I'm weak for you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. I'm weak for you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Now we're back where it started. You say you're sorry, so we forget about it. Simple as that, but I don't know where my heart is. Still all that I want is you. Yeah, you. You'll be the death of me still. You're my medicine. Yeah, I need you, I need you. You light my fire just to put me out again. Still I need you.
So whenever I make bigger purchases, I like to shop around and look at the reviews and look at the ratings and see which model is the best and do all of this stuff. But I needed to wash clothes like that day. So we went to Best Buy, talked to the salesperson a little bit. I asked you guys on Instagram different brands that you prefer, and we ended up making a decision that day. We went ahead with an LG washing machine, and we were going to buy the set, and I decided not to. And originally we thought we could just place the LG washing machine directly onto that pedestal, but it didn't work. It was a little bit too long for the ones we have. So my next step will be to buy the pedestals for it and also to buy the matching dryer. We just didn't right then and there, just in case like it went on sale later, but ultimately we probably should have done it. But there is this like washing machine pedestal that goes under the washer, and it's to wash delicate clothes only. And it's just very small. Now, if any of you guys have it, let me know if it's worth it. Like, should I just buy the regular storage pedestal, or should I buy that mini washing machine pedestals for delicate clothes? So basically you can wash regular clothes and then just a small cycle of delicate clothes at the same time. I'm still up in the air about that, so I'd love your opinions and recommendations below. That was one of the best rated washing machines, and there was 2 different sizes, a 4.5 cubic square foot as well as the 5.0 cubic square foot. And just real quick, I'm going to deep clean this whole living room. The couch has food all over it. We don't eat on the couch, but I'm sure my kids sneak a few snacks here and there, and then it ends up rubbing all over the couch. So that's what I'm going to work on today. But we ended up going with the 4.5 cubic square foot washing machine because I wanted to get the bigger one, but the salesperson, oh my gosh, I don't even know why I'm showing that, but my dog does have accidents every day, and we do use disinfectant to get the floors kind of picked up here real quick. But we went with the smaller one because the sales guy told us that really it's not that much bigger, and you could probably just wash like one extra bath towel in that load. So he kind of said it wasn't worth it, so we just went ahead with what he said and got the one that was the 4.5 cubic foot.
Isn't this a good life? Sitting on the front porch, sipping on the rocks, citrus in our beverages, citrus in our beverages. Show only the good sides. Always pretty smiles are covering our faces. You know it is all lies. You know it is all lies. On and on it goes, round and round the rodeo. Breathing out air for a minute, taking my time to begin with. On and on it goes, swinging down in life, you know. Breathing out air for a minute, yeah. Hey, would you rather stay right here, make everything disappear? Could play my favorite song, put your rose-colored glasses on.
So as I'm getting all of this cleaned up, I was listening to a podcast. It's the Earn Your Happy podcast from Lori Harder, and she interviewed Natalie Ellis, her podcast is Boss Babe. And they were talking more about how to be productive and managing your to-do list. Now, I talked about your to-do list a couple of videos ago and how I'm kind of a fan of a priority list, making sure you are working on your priorities first. But she had this really amazing concept of how to get a lot done and kind of manage your to-do list a bit better. And I wanted to share that with you. And real quick, there's chocolate on this cushion seat. So that's like this stain remover that I found on Amazon. So if you're a busy mom with lots to do and there's a lot of things on your to-do list and you are definitely a to-do list type person, she says break your to-do list down into 4 Ds. And your first one is your do list. So I consider this like your priorities, the things that are urgent, that need to get done right now and are most important. Next are the things you are going to delegate. What can you pass over to someone else? What can you ask someone else help for? So can you ask your husband to pick up the kids today? Or can you ask your kids to start helping with dinner or cleaning up their mess? So what are some of those things that you can delegate? Now, I know as women, most of you guys here are women, it is hard to ask for help. I know that I have a really hard time asking for help. I kind of feel like, don't worry, I don't want to put anyone in a bad position. I want to do everything kind of myself. And I've really, really struggled with the delegation part of it and having to ask for help. But I realize that if I don't ask for help, I will lose my mind. So it is a practice that I had to work on, not only making it inconvenient for someone else, but like it's not done the way that I want it. But in order for me to like not go crazy every day, I had to come to terms, accept that it may not be as good as I'm going to do it, but I need someone else to help me with it. And next on the list is the third D, which is delay. And she says to delay it guilt-free. So like I said, for me personally, I don't like delaying things. I don't like delaying dishes or, cleaning or things that I feel like I need to get done. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough or I didn't get enough done that day or I wasn't as productive as I wanted to be. But we just have to give ourselves permission to say that it's okay to get it done tomorrow. It doesn't mean we didn't have a productive day. It just means that there were other things that we needed to focus on. So delay it and delay it guilt-free. And the last thing is to delete. What are the things that we're adding on our to-do list that just overwhelm us or they are just busy work and not moving us towards our goals? I want you to write down everything that you have to do today and then leave me a comment. Think of one thing on your list that you can possibly delete. I know a lot of people will put on makeup and put on my eyelashes and, do those things, but is it going to move you towards your goals today? So this could be a great strategy to use to pick your priorities on your to-do lists.
something I can never be without, yeah. I'm in your command. Thought I was a man of my own, but it's been 2 years. I'm only a shadow of the good on me now. A breeze in my ear, 'cause you know I cannot say no to you. Feeling like home, but should it be like this? Locked up in your dome, you know I fight for you. What do I do? Every time you call my name, what do I do? You're whipping me into madness. I try to lay low, but I can never stay away from you. What do I
So I am using the Bissell Carpet Pet Pro shampooer. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I like to use this one on lower carpeted areas or rugs. I feel like this one does a good job cleaning that. And then I do have the Tenco one carpet cleaner that I like to use on my carpet upstairs because it's thicker, and also on the stairs. Rye, my 1-year-old, is crawling around everywhere, so I have been making sure that the floors are a lot cleaner than I usually would. I probably wouldn't shampoo this rug all the time, even though I should, but recently I have been, because you saw earlier our dog has been having accidents, and then he's just all over the floor. So I'm like, want to make sure that it's clean all the time. So I do my best. And then this little runner rug in here is actually ruined. After I shampooed this, I rolled it up and tossed it because Chris had cleaned it outside with the power washer, I think, one time, and then he hung it up to dry. And what happened was it stretched. So it's like crooked on one side. It's not straight anymore. And also our dog did have an accident on it. So after I got it all wet, I could just smell it, and it just smelled really bad. And we had been trying to clean it and get everything out, and it's probably just time for a new rug. So after this, I actually don't have a rug in here, so I'm going to have to look for one to put here. And this rug and floor is just dirty. I mean, every time it's always going to be brown. It's just, if you clean your floors and it's clear every time you clean them, then there's something wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, every time we clean the floors, it is going to be this dirty. I feel like with 3 kids and a dog, I could vacuum every single day. I could shampoo this rug twice a day, and it would still be dirty. Now, I also am not great about keeping up with cleaning the cleaning stuff. I don't like it. So it's been a while since I cleaned this out. I am guilty of not doing it every day or every time I use it. So I took this whole thing apart, and that's just how much. Part of that is carpet, and then dog hair, dust, everything that it picked up. It's just so much. So also this kind of goes in front of the spinners, and then there's another piece that actually sucks it all up. I don't know how to explain it. That little piece there. And I do not know, that piece doesn't come apart. And I've tried to get the hair and stuff and the dirt out of that piece, but I haven't been able to. So I took everything outside to kind of see if the water would get it better. And if you guys remember our planter gardens, look how big our sunflowers are growing. Like, we had to put an umbrella to shade it. It just has been so hot, like 107 degrees out here. I'm not even kidding. And but anyway, that's what I use to water the plants. But I'm trying to get all of this stuff out. I don't know how to get it out, so I'm using a little kebab stick to try and fit it in there. It's not working. So if any of you guys have ideas like how I can get all of that stuff out because it doesn't come apart, or if it does, I don't know what to do, then let me know. That would be appreciated.
It is
So last time I did a Q&A, some of you asked about my engagement story and I forgot to tell y'all, and so here I am. I think the original question was, for Chris and I, was it love at first sight, and how did we get engaged? And I will just start off by saying, no, it was not love at first sight. And my engagement story is that our cruise ship sank and I was on the plane crying the whole way home. So we originally met through mutual friends. We kind of were friends for a little while. And then if you are old school like me and you had AIM or AOL, so we were like chatting through there, and then we kind of reconnected and started hanging out, and then eventually started dating. And that was back when he's 2.5 years older than me, and I was a senior in high school, and then he had already graduated. So that is when we first started dating. So it's been a long time, and we did break up a couple of times in between there. But after, 6 years of dating, I wanted to finish my degree. I was going to night school, so it took me 6 years to get my undergrad degree. So I wanted to finish that before focusing on a wedding or anything like that. So right at the end, when I was getting closer to graduating, I would hint okay, this is it. Let's start looking at rings and let's do the whole thing. And I am so weird. I like to plan my own stuff. I like surprises, but I want it to be perfect. So we planned a trip to Italy, and it would be our first big international trip. And we booked a cruise to go to Italy. So we booked this trip 8 months in advance. And when it started getting closer to the time we were supposed to go, that's when we started looking at rings. And I would just say, oh my gosh, it would be the best thing in the world to get engaged in the most beautiful place on earth. And my mom's Italian, so it's it was something so special, and I just talked about it all the time. So we looked at a couple different rings, and 6 weeks before we were supposed to leave on this big trip, I don't know if you guys remember the Costa Concordia. That was the cruise ship we were supposed to go on. We were booked on, and that is the one that sank in the Mediterranean. It is a tragic story. And yes, we were supposed to go on there about 5 weeks after it sank. So my sister and her husband at the time were going with us. So she sent me this message and I was just is this real? This news article. I'm is this real? This isn't real. This is the ship that we are booked on. Oh my gosh, how is this happening? Our first time ever, and it just so happens to be that exact ship. If you heard last year, we were at Kalahari and a tornado hit. We had bad luck traveling, but not bad luck, but it's just kind of very bizarre. So we had, our flights were non-refundable, and we had, it was going to be a 7-day cruise, and we were going to spend a couple days in Rome. So we had a couple of weeks for them to figure out, they needed to refund us so that we could book the rest of our trip. And we had a few weeks to figure out what to do, where to go, and how to plan this international trip in just a few weeks. So anyway, that's not my engagement story, but that is kind of leading into it, because we figured it out. I don't know how, but we flew to Rome, and every single beautiful place that we were at, I was okay, this is it. This is when he's going to do it. This is going to be my perfect engagement. And it didn't happen. And then finally, by the end of the trip, I was a little bitter, I would say, because it still hadn't happened. And then on the plane ride home, I know that you're not supposed to plan it, but I just couldn't help but feel very sad that it didn't happen when I wanted it to happen and where I wanted it to happen. So on the plane ride home, I was just in tears, crying, and he's just why are you so upset? And I was just I didn't want to say anything, because it's I'm not supposed to plan this, but I did plan it in my head, right? So and I was just kind of told him, I was I just thought that we were going to get engaged, and it was just my dream. It was just my entire dream, and it didn't happen. And then I'm questioning, do you not love me? Because you didn't propose to me in Italy. So I don't know. It was just whatever. So the next day he was like, well, do you want to go to dinner? And I was like, sure. And this sounds so bad, but you know, it happened at dinner. And don't get me wrong, I was very excited. I was just kind of like almost embarrassed. Like, why didn't you propose to me? Was it not like, are you having second thoughts? Like, what's going on? And he's not a big, like, flashy guy and all this stuff. He's just like super simple guy. So he just said I was just so nervous. And I think the worst thing, and I don't know why I'm telling you all this, but he took the ring to Italy. He actually took the ring to Italy, and he just said it never felt right. It never felt like the right time. When it was the right time, I didn't bring the ring with me on that excursion, and he said like he just overthought it and just it got to him, and then he felt like it didn't feel right. So I usually don't tell people that whole story. I'm just like, we got engaged at dinner, and that's it, because that's really how it happened. But I just had to tell you the backstory because it was pretty interesting. So I will say, when you're like in that age where like everybody's getting engaged and stuff, like we had friends get engaged on like through a banner on a helicopter, and then like surprise engagement parties and like all of this stuff. So I kept comparing my experience, and it had nothing to do with the experience. And I think that's what got to me, is like the comparison of everything. Now that I'm older, like none of that matters, right? It just matters if you love each other and working on your relationship. But I didn't know that at the time. So at the time I was upset. Now it is what it is, and we are celebrating 10 years next month. So everything works out the way it's supposed to. But if any of you guys have any crazy, cool, whatever engagement stories, I love reading y'all's stories. So leave me a comment down below.
Let me feel your love again. 'Cause I've been running round in circles, screaming out your name. Take me to a different place. Just the two of us, and we can stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night. Everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you. Oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel. I got you in my head. Oh, I wanna be with you. Oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel.
So if you're questioning why I'm vacuuming after I already washed the cushions, well, it's all about aesthetics. The vacuum lines just make it look cleaner and neater. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, whether it was motivation, entertainment, or inspiration that you were hoping to get. I hope you got it. And make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. I do have a bunch of fun content coming out, but I will see you all next week.